is the appeal of hemp
Hemp,
as
good question.
opposed to flax?
Well, hemp is, it's a very supportive plant. It grows quickly, it doesn't need any kinds of, it doesn't need pesticides or herbicides. It's so pest repellent that people will plant hemp around other crops to repel pests. And they'll keep the tops of the hemp plants to store in their silo in the grain bins to help keep the pests away. Hemp is a great plant for these kinds of things. The problem with hemp is that in this country, we can't grow it, not legally, because the tobacco and the cotton lobbies got together, you know, at the appropriate time, I guess somewhere in the 1800s, and said, right, hemp is going to be a major competitor, we're going to eliminate it. And so they got Congress to outlaw growing hemp in this country. So the hemp that I buy, sadly, there's only 2 places in the world that really grow hemp, China and Romania. And so the carbon footprint of these is not the best, and that's unfortunately, you gotta make these, kind of gotta make these decisions. I'm like, well, okay, I really wanna support the hemp farmers, I want hemp in my fabric and my dresses, but it comes from, you know, halfway around the world, or there's so many things, you know, so hopefully,
Are you not allowed to import it here? I forgot to ask
Yes.
you that. So
Yes.
there are some places where you can buy it here, it's just
Absolutely.
imported, okay.
yes, they do import it. In fact, a lot of my suppliers are over on the West Coast, and they are starting to change the rules quite a little bit. In Oregon, I think it is, that they're starting to have allow for medicinal purposes. And by the way, the hemp in this is not the same hemp that people might smoke. It's
Yeah.
it's you know similar it's a similar plant, but it's not exactly the same
Yeah,
thing.
they're
So
related.
you can't smoke your dress.
Hops actually is related to marijuana too.
Is it?
Yep.
What is it?
Hops that you use for beer.
So anyway, and so I'll pass around a little bit more. This is fair trade, hand-loomed organic cotton, and it's made from a cooperative in India. So you have these women in a cooperative who are able to support their families by making this fabric. And that's one of the most wonderful things about, I was telling you about how there's this whole green business kind of, you know, world, is that people support each other with small suppliers as opposed to big corporations. And so you know your money is going to something a lot more personal, a lot more helpful than just feeding somebody's, you know, CEO's pocket. So anyway.
And there's a lot of NGOs that have gone in various countries around the world. A lot of women have needlework and weaving skills, but they just don't know how to create it to make a business to be able to support their family. So some of these nonprofit organizations go in, you know, can get a group of women to work together, and then they can help market their materials, and so that it can help them take care of their families.
Yeah, so I mean, which is really kind of what we want in the end. This is unbleached organic cotton, and I use it for things like veils and overlays because it's translucent and it's really nice. It actually breathes so well to people. Obviously, you can't wear it without something behind it because it's see-through, but it's a really nice. It makes beautiful dresses, and so you know, again, that you can get from the U.S.
And what is that made of?
Organic cotton,
Oh.
unbleached. Which also means that a lot of these fabrics, these unbleached fabrics, this is unbleached hemp silk, take a dye really well. So I've had a lot of people order the fabric from me and dye their own wedding dresses in natural fabrics. Beautiful, dye up very, very, I mean, look at this, and beautiful dyes. It's really rich. So anyway, make sure, now, I hadn't passed this around.
You have to do the
Oh, right. Yes, I have to talk
We all
about
fell in love with this fabric earlier on today,
this bamboo fleece.
but it has a downside.
It does, and I'm just so pleased that you actually knew that. There you go. Most people don't realize, and this is a bamboo, kind of like a jersey. That's not jersey, I'm sorry, it's a poplin. Or, I don't know, they call it all sorts of different things. I use it for one thing.
So bamboo is a sustainable crop, but that does not make it a sustainable material, because the processing that goes into making a bamboo fabric is really harsh. It's a lot like how they process rayon, which is not environmentally friendly at all.
Very
Lots of
harsh
chemicals are
chemicals.
used. So that was one of the
Pulverized.
things we were talking about. Consumers, you know, they read something that says organic. Well, you know, that just means grown without pesticides. So they'll see something that says organic bamboo on towels, something that was used quite a lot in towels for a while. But that really doesn't make it a good product to have, unfortunately. So there's a lot of initiative to try to create more specific definitions so that consumers are not confused about what they're buying, because if they don't know enough about the industry, it sounds like it on the tag, like it's a good product, but in reality, you know, they're
People will
kind of
exploit
they're
it.
misleading people.